Hello everyone, Professor Toy Box here. I've got Star-Lord with me, and I'm back in my Atlantis toy box working on level 3 of my randomly generated dungeon adventure. Last time we finished up this lava reservoir over here, and this time we're moving on to the next area, which is over here. And I'll go into spark mode and give you a quick look at this. So up here I've got volcanic area with some lava pooled up beneath it, and it's trickling over into these lava waterfalls and rolling off the edge of the plateau here. And I've got several things in mind for this little area. First, you got to hippity hop across the lava, but that by itself would be kind of boring. So I've hooked up a randomizer over here to a few replayers. And I'll show you what we've got here. This will give us some choices for obstacles. So the first choice would be these spinners, which you'd have to avoid while you're jumping across the lava, which will make things a little more interesting. The second choice for the randomizer would be these swinging pendulums. And they're right over the lava, so not only do you got to worry about jumping over the lava, you've got to time it so that you avoid these. And the third choice over here is these stomping machines. And so that gives you something else. So when you jump over the lava, you want to be careful not to jump too far over and get stuck beneath one of those. Fourth choice is not a replayer at all, actually. It's an effects generator. And I've got two locators over here hooked up to it, and it'll be generating some area smoke. So that'll help obscure the lava. So that'll give 4 different possible obstacles here to get across that. And then for the final one here, I want to do something a little bit special. I haven't used my Sidekick very much, so I'd like to do that. And so what I'm envisioning is you'll come up to this and there'll be an additional barrier here besides the lava. And the only way to get across this barrier is to throw your Sidekick into a portal over here, which will turn off the barrier. I initially, when I was playing with this, tried the lava eruption block, and that worked pretty well, except that when you're down at ground level, apparently it doesn't let you jump over that eruption block, even if it isn't erupting. I died every time, and I think it's a glitch because it didn't show the die animation. I actually jumped and landed back on the ground, and then it respawned me back at my last checkpoint. So that was kind of a bummer. So instead, I'm going to kind of work up something similar myself using the effects generator. And so first thing I want to start with, though, is the Sidekick door. And I'm going to place that right over here. So it looks like you're throwing them into some machinery. And up here, this is one of the customizable textures in the plant drawer set to the Kyln engine room. And next thing we're going to need, besides the door to throw him in, are some locators for the flame effects that I want to create. So we're going to put 4 locators down here, and then hook up an effects generator to those. And for right now, we'll just stick that right here. So I figure this will give another reason to have the Sidekick along. I haven't really been doing as much with the Sidekick as I would like, and so I may have to go back to some of these levels and revisit what I'm using the Sidekick for, because I had envisioned him being a little bit more interactive with you through this adventure. So certainly in the future layouts that I create for the other variants for levels 2 and 3, I'm going to have to use the sidekicks a little bit more frequently. And the last thing I'm going to need is a trigger area to start this off. I'll go ahead and set one up over here. Make sure I'm not going over too far. There we go. Okay, so new logic connection when entered by player any. I want to come over to the effects generator. And we're going to go ahead and play looped, some fire, and we'll do the smoky flames. And that'll kick off some flames over top of this, so it'll look sort of like the erupting lava block, but it won't really be that. Next thing, I want another trigger area here, because the flames are just a visual effect and won't actually hurt you. We're going to have to add something that will. So we'll come over here and put down trigger area. And so when we enter this one by player any, we'll come over and activate this trigger area. And the trigger area, when entered by player any, we'll come over to my kill switch over here, which I put down in an earlier video, and we'll defeat the player that steps into that trigger area. So now when you come through here, that'll start the smoke and flames, and if you try to jump across those, that would be very bad. But if you throw your sidekick through this door, we want to turn that off. So we'll come in here, and we're going to set the properties for this door. We do not want to remove our sidekick on entry, and this should probably be set on, but I'm going to go ahead and turn it off because I may have to test this several times. Detection level is fine. There's two different possibilities here when you throw your sidekick in. One would be the normal response, which would be good. The other is a response you can use to have it sort of blow up in your face. And I don't think I want to use that option here, so we'll set this so that it always results in a normal response chance. And then we'll go ahead and set up the logic for this, so when a normal response is returned, we'll come over here and deactivate the trigger area. And when the normal response is returned, we'll go ahead and turn off the flames. And that should take care of that. Now that trigger area, I want to make sure, let's see, coming through here would activate that, so I don't think I need to hook this up to the level starter. I do, however, want to make sure that this one over here only gets activated one time. So I'm going to put down our little logic gate and use that trick again, which you've seen before, but which comes in handy so many times. And we'll go ahead and when entered by player any, go ahead and open the gate. And when the gate's open, go ahead and deactivate that trigger area. And then we'll come over here also to our level starter and make sure that's activated by default when we come in here. So new logic connection. Catalyze basically means go ahead and start it. On level start, we'll come over here and make sure this is active. And I've got the level starter hooked up over here to a trigger area at the very start of the level. And previously I had been routing everything through the starting trigger area, and now I've been routing it through the level starter. And I have the trigger area just connecting basically to the level starter. And that will start the level. It also resets it, so if I need to reset my level, I can come back here to the start, run through this trigger area, and that'll reboot everything and reset it all. Okay, so that, I believe, is everything. So now we can come up here and go into this trigger area. And we're going to need our Sidekick. And we'll go ahead and just put down Baloo, since he's the first one that comes up. Whoa! Oh my goodness, I got 2 Baloos? That's kind of weird. Okay, so we'll go ahead and start it. You can see the flames are going over there. And when you got hazards, you want to kind of pick up your Sidekick and carry him with you. Otherwise, he's going to go over top of that thing. Now if I try to run through these flames, we've tested this before, but since it's hooked up to the kill switch and active, if I try to run through that trigger area, I'm going to die. But you can see the Sidekick door across the way, so I'll go ahead and throw in our Sidekick. Oh, and he just killed himself. But I can get across. So at least I get past this area. Not sure what I can do to prevent the Sidekick from coming through there. Maybe what I could do is, in response to that, I could put down a replayer and have the replayer put down a piece of grating or something over this so the Sidekick can walk across it. So I think I'll go ahead and do that. Once I do that, I think this will work pretty well. We'll have another meaningful Sidekick puzzle that will add to this game and make the Sidekick more useful. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. Subscribe to my channel or sign up for my blog to see what we do next. You can find logic diagrams for the different challenges that we make and also some build tips. And for now, I'm going to sign off from Atlantis, and I will see you next time.